Right, so hello then, David. Do you like to
Hello.
be called David or Dave?
Dave, preferably.
Dave. Okay, so Dave Andrew Beckson. Yeah, you're the author of some works that are Shakespearean works,
Mhm.
Sir Thomas More, As You Will, Cardenio, and many others as well, because you're prolific, aren't you? And you're actually channeling, or you believe you're channeling, none other than the spirit of William Shakespeare.
Yeah.
So, your unique method combines spiritual collaboration with creative writing, and you're producing works that really reflect that Shakespearean style. And it's got the themes of faith and love and humanity in those writings. And through your writing, you're inviting us to consider the mysteries of universal consciousness and how we might tap into it to explore our own creative potential. So you're here with us today to share your experience of channeling and discuss your connection with William Shakespeare, and hopefully inspire others to embark on their own journey as well of creative exploration. So, would you like to say a bit about yourself before we start on the questions?
Well, what can I say, really? I didn't have much belief or faith in the spiritual world until I was introduced to this magic circle that we all contribute towards. And I just thought, well, why not? I have, I just thought, if I believe it, it will come. And it did. In droves and droves and droves. It was fantastic, and it still goes on every day. There isn't a day that I don't do a bit of channeling.
And are you predominantly channeling William Shakespeare, or are you channeling many spirits?
I say that about 20-25% of what I'm producing now is come through William. The rest of it could be anybody. I've channeled the avatars, many of the scientists, Isaac Newton, Stephen Hawking, Albert Einstein, Nikola Tesla, Democritus, many Greek philosophers, Aristotle, Sophocles. The list just goes on. It comes
So it's
through.
incredibly interesting.
Well, it comes through. Sometimes I think I will channel this person, and sometimes I just start writing, and I think, who's this going to be? And I have to sit back and think who it is that's actually come through. It's uh, it's almost like spirit asking me to concentrate on my channeling efforts to bring the name through. I,
Yeah, tuning into different frequencies with your radio.
mm,
So,
very
in terms of like discovering the practice, how did you first come to believe that you were channeling William Shakespeare, and what signs or experience convinced you of that connection?
well. It was when we joined the circle, and we were doing a communication, and our friend and ultimate spirit guide, Mayor Barber, came through and asked me if I would like to help William Shakespeare complete his work. And I thought, are you joking? Me? What? Why me? But I was asked what is the first word that comes into your head, and I said Cardenio. I don't know how that came through, but I'd been looking at it a few weeks before, and I thought that's a lost William Shakespeare play. Would be fantastic if somebody could find it. So I wrote it. I channeled it.
Yeah, and so what signs or experiences convinced you of that connection, that this is actually William?
Um, well, this might sound strange to the people who don't really understand these things, but in a previous life, I know that I knew William Shakespeare as a very good friend, and I know that I was from this part of the world, and uh, it was quite likely that I was one of the actors in the play. But so I went to Stratford upon Avon, and I could sense William's presence around me, showing me places we'd been, showing me places that we'd seen, and in all honesty, places we'd had a drink together in.
So was there a lot of familiarity then?
Yes, it felt that way. Yes.
Mm, okay. So can you walk us through the process of channeling a new work? Is there a specific state of mind or a preparation that helps you connect with this creative energy?
Well, what I would say to people is, first and foremost, find a place of silence, a place of complete and total silence, no distractions whatsoever, and write down what you feel, and you'll understand that you probably started channeling. But I've got to the stage now where I can do it in with noise around me quite easily, depending on the character that I'm trying to bring through. But to me, it's become a simplistic, almost automatic system of channeling, just by concentration. It's like imagining going into uh, a vortex and blocking out all other noise and energies around you, which I'm sure you're very capable of doing yourself.
I've been doing it for many, many years, yeah, but it's always fascinating to speak with co-channelers. So, what would you say to people, which there might be many people that would actually question the authenticity of channeled works? You know, like how would you respond to skeptics, and what role does belief or faith play in this process?
First of all, faith and belief in yourself. Faith and belief in what you're doing is actually real, because there is a vast, like a signal of consciousness that we can all tap into. But number one, you must first believe it exists, and number two, you must have faith to believe in what you're doing. So that's it. I mean, skeptics, there will always be skeptics. We know that. But the whole idea of this process is to prove to the outside world that it exists, it is real, and it can be approached and tapped into by absolutely anybody in silence and meditation.
Absolutely. So self-belief comes into it a lot too.
Definitely, yeah.
Hmm. I mean, in some future videos, I'd like to ask you some questions about what you've learned as you've gone through the process as well, with respect to your own channeling and the experiences that you've had with your own self development in that. But we'll leave it for now because, in terms of this one, you mentioned tapping into a universal consciousness. You know,
Mm.
what advice would you have for anybody out there that has never done this before and they want to explore their own creative potential to channel creatively, well, you know, whether that's through writing or art or whatever medium that would be? What advice would you give them?
Well, as I've said, first believe it is real and test it. Go into a place of silence. Go into nature, something like that. Sit under a tree and meditate and see what comes through. And if you feel anything coming through, write it down. Even if you don't believe there's anything coming through, write it down, because that means you've started channeling.
Hmm. And from my experience, I don't know whether you would agree with me that it sometimes feels, especially at the start, that it's yourself doing it, it feels so familiar. It's like, am I writing this myself? And then as it moves on, it actually blows you away with the amount of knowledge and information that comes through that you know that
Yeah.
it was never the lower conscious awareness of Dave or Andrea or whoever it would be that was channeling. It's always a connection with the higher mind.
Well, it's funny because when I've written stuff, I look back on it and thought, did I actually write this? Sometimes I can't even remember what I've written till I've read it over again. I thought this is absolutely fantastic. I thought that there's no way I would have used these words. There's no way I would have said that. This is definitely channeling. Sometimes I think, oh, I'm just making this up. I'm just manifesting this from my own imagination until I read it, until somebody else reads it, and I show it to them, and they think it's fantastic.
Yeah, it blows you away, doesn't it, in terms of how brilliant it is and how prolifically it comes
Oh yes,
without effort.
no, very little effort required.
Mm. Yeah. So, in terms of insights or lessons that you've gained from your channeling, the experience that you've had, what would you say or what would you believe is the most important for others to understand about creativity and the human spirit?
Well, believe that anything is possible, because it's not just writing. As you know, we've got several artists under our wing as well, that they're channeling artwork through consciousness. So it's I mean, it's possible it could be used for anything that is artistic. It really could. But when I first started channeling, it came through very slowly. It was like trying to lift the veil between our consciousness in reality and the consciousness in another reality. But once that veil is lifted, it comes through stream after stream after stream. It's absolutely, I mean, it's a joy to do, as you know, because you do it yourself quite a lot. And it's just sitting in joy and feeling the flow of love and freedom coming through.
Yeah, absolutely. Love and freedom. And the other thing is, as well, is if anyone out there is interested, what swings it for me as well is you can never be bored because
No.
you've got this vast universe to connect with so much inspirational material to draw
Mm.
upon. It's life changing in that respect. It's like there's no more boredom ever needed, is there?
No, well, it's called universal consciousness for a reason because, as you know, we've done channeling sessions with extraterrestrials, going back through ancient history. We've had people come through. It's there's no limit to it. Absolutely no limit whatsoever.
Yeah, and we can explore many of these things in our next videos.
Yes,
So yeah, so for anyone who's watching, thank you very much for watching. And if there's anyone who's interested in discussing this a little bit further, we've got the No Mistakes Publishing website, and you can certainly connect with us through that means. And yeah, just happy channeling.
indeed.
Well, yeah, thank you, Dave, for today, and we'll do some more recordings very soon.
Looking forward to it immensely.